Hey guys, my name is Mannequin. Welcome back to EDM Pro Tips. So today's going to be a little short and sweet just because I have an exam later today and I don't want to do it and I have to study for it. But anyway, okay, so today I want to talk about using your head, which essentially means use your creativity and use your ears. Because those are the two things on your head that are essentially necessary for music production, EDM production, and composition in general. So just kind of like, making a song. So really, you don't need that fancy synthesizer that costs $200. You don't, actually, that wouldn't be, software synthesizers that are kind of fancy cost $200. Actual synthesizers, all that's a whole different thing. But anyway, you don't need a new audio interface. Heck, I'm sure you've heard some of my productions. They're not pro productions, but they're definitely intermediate level, if not above intermediate level. And the audio interface I have is not even an audio interface. It's like it's USB to RCA, and it costs. I think it costs like $30 if you get it off of Amazon or something. So really, just kind of goes to show you don't need expensive equipment to be able to make a pro production. Essentially, bare minimum, you need a DAW and your ears and your creativity. That's it. That's the bare minimum if you're just going to make a song. Really, that's essentially as raw as you could get. If you just have the software to make it in, your creativity, and your ears to listen to it, then you really can't cut anything out and make it, still a feasible process. So all the other synthesizers and hardware upgrades and everything like that, those are just icing on top of the cake in the sense that really, if you know what you're doing with all the tools that Logic has, then really you could get a very solid sounding production. Now, it won't be like really easy to get it. It won't be like sound amazing without, much effort, but it is entirely doable. So really, the whole complaint like, oh man, I did this when I was first starting with EDM production. It's like, I was like, really all I need is like this one thing, and then all my mixes will just sound so much better. Like that's what I thought with I kind of thought that with Silent, I think it was, and then I just, after a while I got the demo of Silent, and I used it for a bit, and then I kind of realized, what, this doesn't really change the music I make. It changes some of the synthesizer sounds, but it doesn't really change the music I make, how well I compress things, and how well I mix things, and everything in between. So I found out that essentially what was holding me back was my lack of expertise in practice. And what's so your focus needs to be more on improving your listening and improving your creativity by just literally, again and again and again, producing for hours and hours and hours on end. Because you can't really practice buying a synthesizer. Buying a synthesizer is a one-time upgrade, or buying new hardware is a one-time upgrade that will help you only if you know how to use it. It's not something that, you could like practice buying things to get better. You have to practice your skills in order to get better. Now, those one-time purchases can open up more options and make things easier, but it won't make you better per se. It just makes the process a little bit different. So really, the thing that makes you better is practice. Painful as it sounds, that's what nobody wants to hear, but they kind of know they're going to hear it anyway. That's really the whole deal. Practice is the key. I think I said that in like my last video, and probably the video before that, and the video before that, and the video before that. But you get the idea. Practice is very important. It's crucial, and you do need to practice with your ears as well as your creativity. And practicing with your ears is is the EQ I'm doing right? Like, it sounds good to me right now, but is it actually right? Should I actually be EQing it this way? It sounds thin, bright, and crispy and punchy, but does it have enough body? And things like that. And, compression. Am I over compressing? Am I under compressing? Am I just like compressing completely wrong? And then, for your creativity would be more like, does this melody make sense? Does it flow? Does this section progress into this other section correctly? And everything like that. So really, that's what you need practice on. You could have crappy speakers that are not studio monitors, and you could still learn what good compression and bad compression is, and you could still learn what a a good EQ is and a bad EQ is. Heck, I'll be honest. I've mixed an entire song using the Apple EarPods that come with the iPhone, just because I was away from my studio. I had an idea for a song, and I was like, I need to do this. So I just all I had there was my little Apple earbuds. So I just made the entire track. Now, granted, the mix was not all that awesome. I couldn't get all the dynamics very amazing. I couldn't get stereo separation amazing. But actually, with those, like, literally the free headphones that come with an iPhone, I was able to do a cohesive mix that that theoretically, if I would have, like, taken out to more sources, like by way of speakers, like if I would have taken it to my car, played it back in my car a couple times, if I would have borrowed headphones from someone else, listened to it on those headphones a couple times, then I could have really dialed in the mix and gotten it a lot better. But really, it's all about how much time you spend investing on like getting better at all the various mixing techniques and creating melodies and everything in between. So really, don't worry about all that other software out there. If you don't have the money to buy it, don't worry about it. Now, there's a lot of free software out there that gives you a lot more options and a lot more power. Like all the plugins. I think I've mentioned a couple of them in some of my other videos. I also have a whole video dedicated to free samples, because I honestly don't think the samples that come with Logic are all that good. So I went out, found a whole bunch of free samples that I really like, and I posted the links to every single one in the video, which I'll conveniently place right here. So there's some free stuff for you, and really, with all the free stuff out there, you don't need to worry about those other things. Now, I'm not saying those other things are not worth buying. I'm just saying, if you don't have the money for it, don't worry about it. There's other things you could focus on that'll make you better than buying a synthesizer. Buying a synthesizer won't make you better, as I already said. It'll just, change your workflow and give you more options for where to take your knowledge. Not necessarily, it won't open up your knowledge or spontaneously make your mixes better. Things just don't work that way. So yeah, takes time, takes practice, and you really have to put in a lot of effort for it. But what you have right now, assuming you have Logic Pro, you have ears, and you have your creativity, that's pretty much all you need. Okay, yeah, I could be obvious here and say you also need headphones or speakers or something of the sort, and you need a computer to run the software, but that's a given. My focus is here. You just need your DAW, your creativity, and you need to be able to take the time to listen and improve your listening skills. So, one other thing that I've mentioned in other videos with the improving your listening skills is that you need to listen to other music and compare it to your own. And I want to bring that up just to suggest that. Take the time, listen to your favorite artists, and kind of, what did they do with the compression? What do they do with the EQ? I have a synthesizer that sounds similar in structure. Have I EQ'd it similarly? Does it make sense that I've EQ'd it the way I've EQ'd it? Stuff like that. So, take the time, listen to other music. That'll help improve your listening skills, not just for, when you're sitting in the studio. If you only listen to music when you're sitting in the studio making music, then it'll work, but you won't sound like those other professional tracks that you aspire to sound like. So anyway, yeah, give that a shot, and remember, it's kind of a motivational video here. Remember that you need to mostly focus on what you have and not what you want. So work with what you have, and trust me, you can go far with it. You don't need to worry about it really holding you back all that much. There'll come a time, we'll talk about it later, when you'll be able to feel you're being held back and how much you should upgrade and stuff like that. I'll talk about that later in one of my other videos upcoming in this series. But for now, suffice it to say, don't worry about it. If you can't upgrade, then don't worry about it. Just work with what you have, and you'll be good. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you like this video, like it. If you'd like to support this channel and see it go farther and everything, check out my Patreon. Also put a link right there. And anyway, other than that, if you have any comments, suggestions, questions, anything, throw them in the comments below, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.